Alrighty, we're going to do day 74. Let's start by putting your name in a comment at the top. I'm not giving you credit if you don't have your name in the program up at the top in a comment or in the file name. Right now it's sketch March 10th, but if you go to save, you could also call it day 74, still more coding, and then your name. That would be an extra safety there so everyone would know who it belonged to. What I need you to do is put serial.begin 9600 up here. And then while we're at it, let's do pin mode. If it ever asks you if you want to update, just cancel. We're going to blink a light later, so let's put pin mode 13 output right here. And then I asked you as the first thing to print, let's see what it said. Still more coding, and then your name, and then delay 3000. Day 74, still more coding, Mr. Hayes, and then delay 3000. Let's upload that and make sure it works. And we can, ooh, I didn't spell output right. Here you go. And then we're going to open the monitor, and we should see it say day 74, still more coding, and then wait 3 seconds, and then it's going to say it again, it's going to say it again. Cool. So that's that. Then above the delay call, but inside the loop function, write a for loop that goes from 0 to 20 going up by 1, and we're going to make it all on one line, and then after the loop, print a blank line. So what I'm saying is above delay 3000, but inside the loop function, that would be right here. For int I equals 0, I less than 21. We have to say less than 21 if we want to go all the way up to 20. I plus plus, and then open brace, open curly bracket. There we go. And we're going to say serial.print I. You can't do I plus space in one command. You have to do 2 different print calls. And then after the for loop, I'm asking you to print a blank line. That's the print line with nothing in it. So let's go ahead, upload, and see that this works. We should get our little message, and then we should get the numbers. And then it repeats, so it goes all the way up to 20. That's what I wanted, 0 to 20. Okay, above the delay call, but below your other code, print this using a single line of code. I hope you have a great weekend. 3 tabs before I, 2 before hope, 1 before you, etc. So I think the easiest way to do this is, I like to label my parts also. So I'm going to go back and label part 1. Part 2, though, above the 3000, below the other code, I'm going to put a couple blank lines here, so my active portion of the window will be up here. We want a single println, and inside of it, we're going to do quotes, and inside the quotes, say, I hope you have a great weekend. And then before the I, we need 3 tabs, \t, \t. And before hope, we need a new line, that's \n, and then 2 tabs. And before you, we need a new line and 1 tab. Before have, we just need a new line. That one doesn't have any tabs. Before A is a new line and 1 tab. Before great is a new line and 2 tabs. And finally, weekend, a new line and 3 tabs. Let's upload it and see how pretty it is. I hope you have a great weekend. And then it runs again. Okay. Let's go to part 3. Write a for loop that goes from 70 to 0 backwards by 7s. Inside the loop, use an if statement to print a note if your loop variable is divisible by 3. Use a second if statement to print a note if I is less than 10. Make the second statement in all caps. You should get the following. Okay, so that's again above delay 3000. 3, for int I equals, what did I say to start with? 70 to 0. Start at 70. Keep going as long as I is greater than or equal to 0. And I minus equals 9. We're going down by 9s. Minus equals does that. You could say I equals I minus 9 if you like that better. Let's do a Control T. Everything looks pretty. And in here, we're going to do an if statement. If I modulo 3 equals 0, that's saying, hey, if this number I is divisible by 3, then we want to print serial.print. We want to put it all in one sentence. We have to do it with 2 print calls, a print without the ln here. I serial.println is divisible by 3. So let's run that. Okay, if I mod 3 is equal to 0, I equals I minus 9. Maybe this is wrong. I minus equals 9. Let's try that. It's normally allowed to do it that way. Nope. Was I supposed to go down by 9s? Go backwards by 7s. There you go. I'm so sorry. Minus equals 7. I don't get to look at the instructions while I'm coding because of the way I'm lining this up. But there we go. 63, 42, 21, 0. Those are what? 63, 42, 21, and then the 7 and the 0 are the other if. And we're supposed to add another if and report in all caps if I is less than 10. If I less than 10, let's get this up to our active serial. Let's just copy these 2 lines. I, and I asked for all caps, is less than 10. All caps mode. So now we should get what I asked for. There you go. That's all the way through part 3. Turn the light on for 1 second, then turn it off. Can you remember what you have to put in the setup function for if you want to turn a light on? Look it up in a previous program. Well, here we go. If you want to turn the light on, you have to say pin mode 13 output, but we already did that. So right here above the delay, we're going to do part 4, and then we're going to turn the light on, digital write 13 high, delay 1000, digital write 13 low. And we don't have to delay after the low because I'm just asking you to turn it on and then turn it off. You can't see that part on this recording, so we're going to go to part 5. And part 5 says, are you still adding your new parts above the delay 3000 line? If not, fix that. Also make your code pretty by typing Control T regularly. That's Control T, adds spaces and things. Last part, write a for loop. It starts at 101, runs as long as the variable is less than 400, and goes up by 9. There is the 9. So it starts at 101, and as long as it's less than 400. For int I equals 101, I is less than 400, I plus equals 9. That's the easiest way to make it go up by 9s. Okay. Inside the for loop, print the variable if it's an odd number, printing the numbers in 5 columns. Print it if it's an odd number. So remember, odd number is if you do modulo 2 and the remainder is 1. So if I modulo 2 equal 1, serial.print I, serial.print, I'm going to just put a space. You could do a tab, but a space is fine. All these numbers are 3 digits. And And then let's, after the for loop, do a serial.println. We're almost going to be there. Not quite. Let's take a look at what comes out of here. Goes to there, blinks the light. Okay, so this is all the numbers. Goes from 101 to 389. Those are the right numbers. But it's not in 5 columns. And I did say you'll need to make a count variable to keep track of how many values you've printed into a modulo 5 with that variable instead of with I. So what we're going to do is before the loop right here, we're going to say int c for count equals 0. And every time we print one, we're going to say c equals c plus 1. So that's keeping track of how many we've printed. So then inside the for loop, so above this, but not in this if, we're going to do another if c modulo 5 equals 0. That means if you've printed a multiple of 5 things, then we're going to serial.println, print a blank line. That'll give us the 5 columns. So I'm print, then, oh, I put a colon instead of a semicolon. We'll see. Oop, up, oop, up, oop, up, oop, up. How about that? There we go. It's a little weird that there's this extra blank line, but I've been seeing it all the time, and I'm not sure what's causing it, but the code's right. And so that'll be just fine if yours looks just like mine. So that's it. That's the assignment. If you have questions, obviously talk to me in person.